Just give me a minute. It's starting to record in a minute. Just give me a minute. It's starting to record. See all of this. So I think we are back, right? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, we'll start from the beginning. Sorry that I forgot to record this. So this is a massive project in front of us. We all need to work together to make this happen. This is just like a rough plan I'm thinking about at this point. And Ravi Narasimhan and myself have thought about it a little bit for the last few months. And Ariane has discussed with Srikaryam at length about several issues, including Sri K. Devanathan Swami, who was a vice chancellor of a Karnataka Samskrita college or something like that, the university here, right? So we've thought about it to some extent, but there's a lot of missing points actually. And one thing I want to make this very clear, many of you have a lot of things in front of you in terms of family responsibilities and other immediate things. Please take care of them first. Don't sacrifice your children's time or anything like to do this project. I'm sure a lot of you or some of you will have time, like myself, who is retired right now. Like there are several people like that, right? Let us all work together. Those who have time, come and help us out. Those who don't have time, just listen to this and keep in touch, be aware. And if you can do something, just spending a couple of hours a week or something, please do that. So this is not a force, or we're not forcing everybody to do anything. And I know nothing will work anyway, right? Just want to make sure. The other thing is, what are the goals at this point? We came up with three goals actually. Create an online university dedicated to Vedanta research and Sampradaya. So this basically will cover pretty much a lot of it. Our whole entire Vedic, Vaidika, Arsha Sampradaya will be covered in this. So one thing is an online university. Why is an online university required? We are all spread out and we are at different levels. So we may have 100 certifications, right? So each course may be a certificate. We need to formalize everything like a real university with homework and really manage the entire, entire university process. That's one thing, to reach out to level students who belong to different levels, from 0 to 100 maybe. So we have to somehow make this happen. That's point number one. Point number two is to create a research center to create scholars of Vedanta and Sampradaya. This is very important because, as our acharyas mentioned, the best of scholars are getting too old or they are no more with us. They are with Sriman Narayana. This is a very big problem. People don't understand, many people don't understand that you can't create scholars out of textbooks. You cannot just throw a bunch of textbooks and say, okay, here is a big library, create 20 scholars of Vedanta with just books. Impossible. We need guidance from real people. And that's why we need real scholars who are living to guide us and our next generation. This is very important. The third point I have written down is revive and protect all knowledge we have. Shrikaryam and myself was just talking about how we are losing our ancient information. Way back, we said that Bodhayana wrote Vritti, and Ramanuja.org also probably just got a chance to go to Kashi, Kashmir, or somewhere, and then pick up Bodhayana Vritti, and somebody had to by heart it, and then now all we have remaining is 5 references to Bodhayana Vritti long time. We lost it, right? That would have been a massive set of information which would have guided the entire Vedanta community. And we wouldn't have probably oppositions, factions, sects, so many sects who are warring against each other, arguing against each other. Probably Bodhayana would have solved everything. We lost it there. But today, think about how much we have lost. I was just asking someone, Shrikaryam, after Vedanta Deshika, who wrote Upanishad Bhashya for only one Upanishad, that is Ishavasya Upanishad. Unfortunately, we don't have an Upanishad Bhashya from Ramanuja.org. And all other systems have Bhashyas on the Upanishads written by Shankaracharya, Madhvacharya, and all. We don't have. So Vedanta Deshika wrote one Upanishad Bhashya. I asked, where are the rest of the Upanishad Bhashyas other than Ramanuja Bhashya? Do we have any other Upanishad Bhashyas? Shrikaryam was saying that, Doddaya Acharya, student of Sri Vedanta Deshika, I think he wrote Upanishad Bhashyas. Then I asked him, I had never seen that. Have you seen? That's what I asked Shrikaryam. Shrikaryam said, yes, of course I have seen. Where is it? It is in Anna Centennial Library. When Jnatas were there, it was organized. It is all in palm leaves, written in Telugu script. And right now, nobody's managing it. The government of Chennai, government of Tamil Nadu have not allocated their proper place. It's probably in some gunny bags, like how you stored potatoes. And nobody has checked it. Why? For the last 600 some years, we have not been able to protect Upanishad Bhashyas. If other people ask you, where are your Upanishad Bhashyas? You should have everything together and say, yes, we have all this information. We don't. So we have to revive manuscripts, books, notes, personal information in all your families. Your great-grandfathers might have stored information. All this have to come to some archive.org or something. We need to do that work to protect information. My own grandfather has 27 books, all written in handwriting. I didn't publish them either. I wanted to understand them before publishing. Not able to do it, but I just have to scan it and publish it. So this kind of information is all over the place. We have not done a good job. Okay, this one thing. So 3 points I want to mention. These are the main goals. I will open it to everyone very soon. Just give me a second. Some organizational issues, right? So what we have to do is we need to have 2 incorporations. Before that, we need volunteers to take notes and manage projects using a Microsoft project or something. This is very important because how to drive a community or a bunch of volunteers, and we are all distributed all over the world. So we need some organizational people who put everything together, right? And that's very important. Please help us out, come in front and help us out in all these things. Some people are experts in managing projects. Please come out and help us. Other things is about, making things correct, having a bank account, having incorporations, 2 incorporations, one in the USA, one in India, set up bank accounts, make sure we don't get into trouble when we raise funds or transfer funds from US to India or from anywhere to India. So these are simple things which we need to do right away. The other thing we need to do is competitor analysis. How did Vidyapita succeed? 50 years ago, they put 7,000 rupees, got a 3-acre land, had 10 students and 2 teachers. Today, they are whipping up 50 scholars with 13 years of experience every year. How did they do it? What steps did they do? How did they promise the children that they have a future? How did they take care of the teachers? So there's a lot of homework we need to do. That has to be done by all of us and figure out and come with a plan which works. We need a detailed project plan based on success stories, based on what we understand, based on talking to Swami K. Devanathan Swami, who has offered his time to help us out. If you have access to K. Devanathan Swami, he will guide you in every part of the way. Similarly, Sri Karyam, who is very busy because of Sancharam and all, we have in Avilamat, definitely we have other priorities. That is, main priority is Sri Lakshmi Narasimha, right? So we have to take into account how to get help from different people, create a project plan, detailed project plan, current and assess the status of current institutions, what we have done. Engineer Ageshingar has started so many couple of institutions. We have to figure out and say what is wrong with the institution, what have we achieved, how can we leverage what we have done till now to do it right. And this will be a non-sectarian university. That was that was very clear. Initially, we were going to start with all the Sri Vaishnavas put together. You may ask, why don't you open up to every Vedanta system? There may be 10 systems. We thought about it and said, they don't seem to have so much, they don't need so much of your help. Babs has done a phenomenal job by themselves. Babs is the Swaminarayan Samstha. Similarly, the Dvaitins, Madhva Sampradaya people have done a phenomenal work. They don't need your help right now. Smartas have been doing it for thousands of years, and they don't need much of help. So it is us who have sort of not really organized ourselves in this and really haven't achieved any significant milestone yet. If you look at it, the number of Chaturshastra Panditas are going down by every decade. And don't forget the wonderful COVID and all those things which have just erased people out of life here, right? So please consider all those things and look at the urgency in front of us. We need a lot of work to be done. And fundraising is phenomenally important. The reason is, how did the Madhvas and Smartas do? I was at Barkalamat just last week, and I talked to the main trustee there, and he seemed to be the trustee of many other institutions, including Sringeri Mat, including Vyasaraya Mat of Madhva system and all. He was telling they pick up children from villages who have no livelihood. They go to their parents and say, look, give me at least one of your children. We'll give you 5,000 rupees or 10,000 rupees a month forever for next 10 years or next 15 years. Till we give back your child back to your family. So next 15 years, the child belongs to us. We'll give you 10,000 rupees a month or something. They're happy because they have no livelihood in their villages or something like that, right? These people are brought and then they are trained for 15 years and they are given some jobs, or the community come up and say, look, help us out, do a conference on this, do that. We constantly engage you so that you will not go hungry, and we will also not go hungry for information about our own Vedanta and Sampradaya. Tomorrow, when people die, when we don't have the right people, there are new people who can help our next generation. So this is what they promise to those families. Today, they're very successful. And these children don't even think of going to computer science or something like that. And they just say that, oh, I'm convinced. But for some reason, Sri Vaishnavas have not been able to do that. here and there there are success stories. For example, I'll tell you my own close friend Madhvacharya, Asuri Madhvacharya, who is a phenomenal speaker and whose Rahasya classes are booked. There are live 500 people listening to his Rahasya lectures every day. He was an orphan, studied in Ahobilam as a child. He was brought to Tirukudanandavan ashramam and he was trained. And now he's a great scholar. See, we need 10 dozens of such scholars to keep everything working in our system of thought. Coming to the next point, the biggest problem what we have seen is we can't identify teachers and students and say, okay, let's start this particular course and let's make it real. We know that some people have tried and they're doing a good job. And I don't even want to mention them because you know many of them. Let us make it more official and make it happen. We have examples. We need a pilot project to prove, just like, MVP, right? The minimum viable product. Every startup person knows that we need a minimum viable product, not just a PowerPoint like what I'm showing. It has to be real. So we need to find a small place where a powerful scholar is sitting somewhere and 5 students are closely working with this scholar and getting trained. Yes, this is happening. I found out that a Tengalai Madam started by Engalaivan, who wrote Vishnu Chittiyam, the commentary on Vishnu Purana, and Engalaivan, I think, was a direct shishya of Ramanuja.org. His Santati have now created a small school with a few scholars. And they're very powerful. They're really working very seriously to get to the next generation of perfection. And if you remember, Kesri Swami, Kottamangalam Swami, my own personal teacher, he trained several students. And they are training their own students in small places like Tirukovulu or Mysore or somewhere else. It's not organized. We need organization. We need curriculum design. We need a bunch of projects. I'm just going to leave this at this point because you know better how to get this done. We all believe that our great acharyas and Sriman Narayana will guide all of us to succeed in this endeavor. And tomorrow, 20 years from now, 100 years from now, our next generation will not find fault saying that if this generation had worked hard, we would have somehow transferred the knowledge from one generation to the other. It is like a relay race. If one person drops, the entire chain fails. So let our generation not fail. Let us do something real. And with this, I stop and ask for your guidance and participation.
Swami, this is Ravi. Thank you. Before we open it up for questions, I just want to add a couple of points here, right? The reason why Srimad Ravishinkar, Sri Karyam Swamin, K. Devanath Swamin was very much interested in it. I just especially wanted to call out this for the Sri Sannidhi Sishyas who are on the call here. In 2015, during the Sashtabda Purti Mahotsavam, which was held in Srirangam, right, Dasavdar Sannidhi, Srimad Ravishinkar let us know what exactly was in his Tiruvullam. That, we all know that in his Purvashram, Srimad Ravishinkar has trained hundreds of Vedantis as well as in Agama Shastras too. And he said that he would like to set aside minimum like around 100 crores to set up a massive Vedanta effort to take care of it. Again, after hearing that, whenever I used to go and have darshan of Srimad Ravishinkar, again used to request if there is any effort that is going on, I would love to participate in the Kaingaram. I should say, no, we are not focusing on anything. At some point of time, I think to some extent got irritated, say, before you ask, I know what you are going to ask. We will keep you posted, right? We'll let you know kind of thing, right? If something happens. So I stopped requesting Arishinkar about it. But when this effort came up, by nature, Srimad Arishinkar was in academics, and Srikaram was also a Sanskrit professor. K. Devanachar also was in Vedanta and Sanskritam, in several colleges and universities he has trained. They were instantly able to identify the major gap what we have. The important gap what we have, which I really want all of you to understand here, is that we might have scholars when what Srikaram was referring to as Shastra is Mimamsa, Nyaya, Tarka, and Vedanta Shastra, right? Like if you are in technology, if you know about neural networks, it will be easy for you to learn AI. If you are in Java, it will be easy for you to understand Python and other language. Or in C, if you are in C, you could be able to learn other language. Same thing. If you know these Shastras each other, it will be better for us to do a lot more deeper study and research. Unfortunately, within the Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya, that is not in a very coherent manner and coherent fashion. The harsh truth is, like, to be honest with you, we are actually 1,000 years back, actually into the Srimad Nadamanigal era. If you want to learn about a particular Grandam like Sarvartha Siddhi or some other advanced Sri Vaishnava Grandam, you may know one person probably in Sri Rangam, they will say. So if you go and learn with that person, and if you have questions around some other Grandam related to it, oh, this person will be available in Kanchipuram or Mysore. Like what Sriman Nadamanigal has to hop from one place to another place to another place to learn all the Tiruvaimari. Right now, if a research scholar is interested, which then they have to go and hop from one place to another place to learn. We don't have a coherent place to learn that. Unlike in Advaitam or in Dvaitam, they have several institutions that take care, or I will say several system that is organized system that is in place that they are able to get through it. That is point number one. We used to have several scholars like Villivalam Periyaswamin. He was called Naranachar Swamin. He used to be a phenomenal scholar, like what Sri Krishna Swamin was pointing out. Not only in our Siddhantam, the most important is to know the other religion doctrines, whether it is Buddhism or Jainism and other things, where he wrote a phenomenal commentary on Paramada Bhangam of Swami Desikan, right? Those things was really helpful. That's why even Kanchi Paramacharya was appreciating Uttamur Swamin and Sri Vaishnava scholars, and he was willing to learn from them because of their breadth of knowledge across the other systems too. Today, very, very few are there. We don't have that many people. So the purpose of this institution was Srikaram Swami was very clearly saying that, hey, you can ask for volunteers to join, but what is the benefit for volunteers, right? That's the most important thing. In this world, that is also important. You are going to invest your time, you are going to invest your expertise and help us to set up. So he was suggesting have some basic, advanced and research classes, and he has mentioned that in the video too, right? So what to know about the basic courses? When we have professors, we would like to seek their attention to see how to construct a basic curriculum, how to construct an advanced curriculum, how to construct a research curriculum, right? Depending on your skills, the professors will, evaluate, and then probably they will suggest which one the student will fit in. So this is how the curriculum, and this is how the context of how this came in. But everybody agreed upon the greatest challenge, like what Sri Krishna Swami pointed out, is finding a student, right? Today, getting a student is very, very, very difficult. It is a very pathetic situation. Partly, I'm going to be open here. I do not know how many of you are there. The Tamil Nadu government and the government system in Tamil Nadu for the past 55 to 60 years systematically destroyed anybody who is supporting Sanatana Dharma. Okay. There are a lot of things Srikaram told us, but which we don't want to mention that here. I know it's been recorded in YouTube, and whoever sees, I'm not worried, but this is the open fact. We have to really struggle hard to revive that, okay? We have to really struggle hard to revive that, and people, especially who are outside India or outside Tamil Nadu, has the best chance to revive that rather than people inside Tamil Nadu itself. So this is one of the reasons that Srikaram Swami said, yeah, I mean, you have to organize and coherently and do it. Third is, if you want to do the research, the fundamental for research is information. You all know that you are all in IT industry, and most of you are in knowing the latest technology, right? That's why Krishna Swami was mentioning how to collect the manuscripts and how to collect different granthas and make it available. online, and then so that we can allow people to access. It's not like all the advanced Grantha, all the research will be available free of cost for everybody. We may have restricted access for people depending on the Grantha and other things that we are planning to do that. But having the information, finding the right student are the two topmost priorities. Of course, setting up this university for that, for setting up the curriculum, setting up the courses, and setting up the organization, those are all the important priorities as well. So let me take a pause and then we'll open it up for questions, please. Thank you.
Again, this is Jagan. And I'm willing to kind of help with scanning manuscripts and trying to help them get organized. I can at least I can provide the resource to initially get them all in one place, and then we can see about uploading them to archive or anywhere else. So I can help with that. And also my personal interest is to be a student. I don't know if I'm too old for it or not, but that's still my interest.
Dhanyas, Ms. Swamin. Thank you. Thank you.
Again, Nalini Vardarajan here. Basic question about when we say basic level. So is this targeting people with some amount of knowledge already? What levels are we talking about? I mean, are we talking about school children as well who are interested but don't have any initiation into all this? Or are we talking about adults? Is there do we start with teaching from Sanskrit and then bringing them into all this? Or are we assuming that they have basic knowledge of Tamil and Sanskrit and then taking it on from there?
We haven't fully delved into that level of aspects. Probably we'll take the guidance there too. From Srikaram Swamin and K. Devanachar Swamin, right? That's where we wanted to seek all your inputs too. So we'll talk to them, but this will be a more formal setup, okay? One thing that which is, given that Srikaram Swamin, K. Devanachar Swamin, all of them are from academic background, they're saying like it is not like other classes where people attend the class, but there is no evaluation and other things, right? But they want to be very clear, saying that set up a curriculum, ensure the student attend the classes, evaluate the students once a while, give them the feedback, like a typical university course. That's what they are looking at right now.
Right.
I leave it to Krishna Swami to further add. Please go ahead, Swami.
The thing is that eventually, over time, we want to reach all sections, including children and things like that. But the way it works in practice is we have to, just like an online university initially, because this is for an online university where, first of all, somebody should be willing to, a student should be willing to really go through a rigorous online education program. That's one thing. So we have to find the right teachers and right subject. For example, I can give you, somebody wants just Stotra Patams or something. There will be a teacher, and whoever is interested in Stotra Patam will register formally into that course, and then and finish the course and get a certificate, get evaluated, do homework, and get certification. So like that, there could be anything. Sanskrit as a language also is very important. For that, we need a separate track. For that, initially, we may ask people to just go to already existing some Vyoma Samskrita College or some other things which is online. So Sanskrit is something which is available today for several people, right? Free Sanskrit education is available. Whether we can include it right away, we don't know. But what we are missing is also higher level ones. If somebody wants to study some text, even Gita Bhashya or Upanishad Bhashya or anything, or even our own Vedantishika's works like Tattvamukta Kalapa. I'm not saying restrict to any particular acharya. All acharyas including. We have to go stage by stage to see that does a teacher know how to teach a particular subject? Then there'll be a course. Think about an online university model similar to Hindu University of America, HUA.edu. Go do some research on HUA.edu. They offer 280 courses today, and there were like a bunch of 80 teachers and about a few thousand students. So each one will pick up whatever course they want to study, and everything will be organized from all the organizational support, counseling, student counseling. Everything will be given by a central set of staff. Many are volunteers, whatever it is, right? That's how it will. That's how it will work according to what we think at this point.
So this is Murli here from New Jersey. I had a quick question. I'm still not very clear of the scope because you took the IT parlance. I'm, taking the liberty of calling it that way. The scope is still not very clear, right? So we talked about, and you talked about so many different things as such, because in your talking about project management, we need to be very clear in terms of what is it that we are managing. So first and foremost, in my view, is to make sure that we understand what the scope is. As you said, you kind of, Krishna Swami, you kind of talked about identifying, acharyas as one scope. Identifying what are the basic levels that need to be. That's something that has to be. So long story short, what I'm trying to get at is that I think first and foremost for us is to actually define the scope so that we can put a plan in place so that we can execute upon it.
Yeah, thank you, Swamin, Murli Swamin. You are absolutely right. There are 5 steps that we have to do. One is to register the organization as an online university. Second is to work with MOOC, which is a massively open online course, and then start setting up the courses. Third is definitely we need to figure out the right students, especially for the advanced. That is the top priority where we have really gotten a green signal and anagram from Srimad Arishankar saying that where there's a sparse, paucity of scholars, and then the people who could train them are also at a very ripe old age, right? Those third is the students. Fourth is to work with trying to collect the information. Whatever manuscripts we have, we should start try to onboard that, right? We don't have time, right? I mean, when I say we don't have a particular timeline, the scope is very clear. Students, registering organization, creating courses, and then trying to bring up the teachers together to start with this. This is the 4 scopes that we have right now. And
Okay.
whoever knows technology on MOOC that who could help us set up a course, courses. When you set up a course formally, then you need to have a course counselor. We need to have course coordinator, and we need to ensure that there should be people who could evaluate and give it to the professor and other things. So there are a lot of subtasks also we have thought through that, but we are keeping it at a broad level. These 4 are important items that we need to address. Hope I answered
Thank you. Yeah, thanks, Ravi Swami. The only reason why I asked that question is because Krishna Swami was talking about finding young kids and then bringing them into these things and things like that. So that is a different track altogether from my understanding, right? So what you are
right.
Yeah. So
See,
that's why
I think that is important task too. The way which our sampradayam works, Swamin, is that it takes 10 years for a kid. From at the age of 5, the kid has to go to a Veda Parshala and learn the Veda for 10 years. And then up to Ganam, whatever, right? And after that, the Shastras, right? Now, Vyakarana Shastra is there, Nyaya Shastra is there, Targa Shastra is there. That will take the kid another 7 to 10 years. So usually when we talk about kids, ideally from 5 to 25, if the kid knows the Shastras and other things, then they're ready for the advanced Veda courses. So those kinds of the kids that we are really looking for the advanced courses to get in. And Krishna Swami mentioned about it. Even if we're willing to offer 25,000 rupees a month, right, it's very difficult for us to get a such kid today. And the pathetic situation is we all have to be blamed. I need to take partial blame too, because I'm after money, I came to US, right? Nobody is willing to give these kids a girl to get married. So nobody even wants to get into that. If you go to a Madhva Sampradaya, we need to really talk about this. If you go to a Madhva Sampradaya, a scholar who comes out, there are families who are in the line to give their daughter to them. Okay, we can show so many people. That is one of the greatest challenge that we are having to find a student today. Okay, there are scholars who are willing to invest time in them, and we could also try to set up the courses and other things. One of the greatest fear what we all have is where can we find the student?
Okay,
That's what Krishna Swami was mentioning. Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
Any other questions, Swami? So we are going to have Krishna Swami, I think if I may talk, add something to it, right? We may have 2 or 3 teams to form here, right? One team, if you may not know anybody or you may not be experienced too, but if you know some of your friends or relatives who has registered organization in India here, please do let us know, okay? And so that we'd like to form a team related to that. We'd like to form a team precisely on the technology side who could help us set up these courses in MOOC, or who could try to do the digital scanning and other things that what we talked about, right? What are manuscripts. When you have time, I know that the digitizing the books, the Sri Sanidhi has already been at the forefront since 2006, which I would like to call out too, right? Shriman Sadagopan Mama is fondly called as Sadagopan Mama here, right? Shriman Uplipan Koil Vardachari Sadagopan Mama, he has got his team. They have done a fantastic job starting from Villola Mahashim Sadavishayam and close to around 500 books, I think, that has been digitized, right? And that is available. But we are also talking about advanced level of, granthas that we want to digitize and bring it in. So we already have examples within the Sri Vaishnava tradition itself who has been leading this, right? And Swamin also mentioned about Stotrapada and GSPK is there, VDSS are there, they have been doing that, right? We are learning from them. We are going to complement what they have done that. And we are going to take help from them as well to see how to digitize as well. And most importantly, I would like this group to be at the forefront in this important initiative that what Shankar has really proposed, right? And this is not the first time, in Sri Vaishnava that we have started. You all know that, the Oriental School in Chennai, like what Krishna Swami pointed out, it was started almost 50, 60 years ago. And a lot of alumni have come out of it. And that school, has also produced not only our from Sri Vaishnava, that a lot of other people have benefited out of it. Madhuranagam Parashala, it has a lot of legends have come out of that too, right? But times have changed. Now the education has become more online than on site, right? And education has become more global and not like the previous time. So we are trying to, adjust ourselves to this. And this is where I think we are trying to move towards that direction. So 2 or 3 teams we are thinking about. I see already some comments saying that they are offering help. Thank you so much. So digital one and registration one, and of course for fundraising, and most importantly, what Krishna Swami pointed out, we would like to have a project plan created so that you all will know who is doing what. We are all coming from the technology background, so we can't take the MS project out of our mind. So we will definitely go in that direction to have some structure in place. Swami Krishna Swami, anything you want to add, please go ahead, Swami.
Yeah. See, what we need is I'm just thinking of one of the points, and I think I'm sure you have a lot of information and you have your own suggestions. One small thing is I found how first to create a database of teachers who are good at in some subjects. All of you are in different, have your own villages, you belong to some cities and things like that, and you know your own set of teachers. A reason, what happens was, I talked to Soumya Narayanan Swami, from whom we are learning Upanishad Bhashyas and TMK and all. He gave me a list of teachers I've never heard of. Some Valayapati Swami, some other Swami. He gave a list of like 10 teachers who are hiding in some agraharam or village or something like that. They're masters in the area, but we don't even know where they exist. So we need to have a database of teachers and their specialty. So with a good database, you can even create a online Google Sheets or something where people can add anywhere people can add. This is the name of the acharya. These are the special stuff he can teach and where he is located, how we can contact them. We need a database of teachers. And then comes access to, there is always a section of people where they can give their children and say, I need my child to be a full-time Vedanta expert someday. And they have the value, they have the traditional they really don't expect them to go to Princeton or MIT or start five companies or something like that. There are people with that kind of goal. We have to identify those families and bring them out with good amount of promise that we definitely, as a community, will take care of their families, right? So these two are difficult projects. We need help from everybody in this. We have to start somewhere, and we need to have cons every week or every 2 weeks. We have to again bring in active people who can work on this. I know everybody cannot work because they have their own jobs and other things to do. But whoever can really come together, we have to do this.
So as a next step, right, like what Swami pointed out, Adiyan has got a Google sheet of capturing the names of the students or capturing the names of the professors. I will share that here. If you all know somebody, try to please enter into it. And, Adiyan, we would form a couple of teams. Here itself, we are not going to create too many WhatsApp groups. Just we'll keep it simple here. And then if you are interested, you can also think through it. And then if you know somebody you think that would help us in these tasks, please talk to them first and see whether if they are available. The three things definitely we need from you is your time, your expertise, of course, your contribution, right? Whichever you are comfortable without, to Krishna Swami's point, impacting your family or your core life, please try to do that.
And we definitely need volunteers who can come further and say, I will take care of a particular area. Let me work on this particular thing. Maybe one person focuses on fundraising. One person focuses on database creation of teachers and things like that. Somebody should be responsible for each of this project. And we know that there's a point person that whether they can get it done or they can do it themselves. We know that some project is actually assigned just like a simple project management task, right? We need a lot of volunteers, and we're looking for a lot of help. And also, you need to reach out to people from India. Initially, we reached out to a lot of people, and we have 80 probably participants, 80 members in VRI. Most of them are outside India, I think. And we need a lot of volunteers in different parts of India, like Chennai, different villages, and agraharams. So we need participants from India to get this moving, actually. So you need to probably reach out and get some active participants who can really put some time and efforts.
Any
Namaskaram.
questions? Yeah, go ahead, please.
Madhusudanan here. So I think on preserving the scholars, the scholars' work who are currently active, right? So, for example, Swami Devanatha Swami or Sri Karim Swami and like many, and the likes. So, is there? I think that also is our priority, right? Like, so if they have, like, is there I have a suggestion there. Like, so is it a good idea to have someone who's available as a student already, as in, like, it could be anyone, even Krishna Kashyap Swami is a student at this age. So there could be students who are looking to learn stuff from these people, and can we videograph those sessions so that we could let out those content only for the specified, people, not, we are not going to publish it on YouTube or any public platform, but for the seekers, that itself is going to be a reference material. At least that way, like, we can preserve the material that, the scholars that we have, the scholarship that we already have right now at this point.
Adiyan, this is Ravi. So let me first take that question. So our main objective is to train the trainers, Swami. To your point, right? If there are students who are at the advanced level who are willing to train additional students, that's the top priority we wanted to give. As far as specifically recording a course or a particular class, is entirely up to that adhikari who is taking the class, and it is up to his permission that we need to seek and then provide that. Right now, since we don't have any formal setup, we are just starting, right? So when we have our sessions and our courses are done, definitely I think that we'll be going through that. But we are reaching out to your point, each and every professors, or I use the word professors or adhikaris who are out there, especially on the advanced granthas and others. And most of the teaching sometimes at the very advanced level may be happening in Mani problem or in Sanskritam too. And I'm not sure how it will be available to others, but definitely we could pursue that. It's a great idea. We will ask the adhikaris, and if they are okay and willing to share, why not? Yes. Krishna Swamin, please go ahead, Swami.
Unmute myself. So, yeah, that's an important question. K. Devananda Swami personally told me also about it, saying that there's some people are willing to share their information to a wide audience. Some people are not willing to share to a wide audience. So this will be like a formal university. See, all we are trying to do is bring formality into everything. You register for a course, you will get the benefit of that course. If you don't register, you may not get the benefit of the course. But as a university, we will definitely try to store the information in a long-lasting storage somewhere, that it is accessible to the university. It is definitely not going to go away, not in several hundred years, because we want to make sure that we have standard platforms to share to store them. All kinds of multimedia, we definitely want to store them, and that will become a storage of for the next generation. For example, I personally support openness in this whole. I'm an open source guy, okay? Openness and thing that anybody should be able to access any information they want, as long as they meet some basic requirements. But not everybody believes in it. Some people think that anadhikaris should not get access to this. I fully agree with that. But the thing is, we have to, as a university, we promote openness, but it's up to the teacher and what kind of students the teacher is looking for. So it's a little bit complex. We'll figure out how to solve them as we go ahead and really establish something real.
Sure. Thank you, Swami. But I think that's at the foundation. Probably we may have to take these calls. We may not be able to decide at a later stage, right? So that's why I feel like, anadhikari is a very important thing, as you mentioned. Like this university replica. Honestly speaking, universities. With all the, I'm comparing to physical universities, great institutions across the world, maybe the top ones. The number of outstanding scholars in specific areas they have produced, in terms of PhD degrees, maybe a huge lot. But ultimately, the kind of scholarship that some of the people, the stalwarts that you have mentioned, that is equal to at least 4 or 5 PhDs in that sense, like in the university's rigor on. It may be much bigger than that. Like it may not be even comparable. What I'm failing to understand is if Madhva Sampradayam is able to establish Vidyapita and make it function in a very traditional way and still succeed, why do we have to, why are we in a mode to switch to an online university or anything of that sort?
See, we require both online and local. Okay, we require both. The reason is this. We as a society have moved out from a single location. We are not in the Agraharam situation at all, right? So we have moved out from Agraharams to cities and outside the countries. So we definitely have to reach out to people who are somewhere else. Otherwise, then you are debarring everybody who has gone out of an Agraharam and got to a big city or outside the country. And they will never have access to information. That is wrong. At the same time, you need local setups where a very powerful scholar is teaching a small set of students. And you need also very formal things like Vidyapita, where scholars are trained in different subjects like Sanskrit, Tarka, Vyakarna, Mimamsa, and several other topics in a very formal, live, like a physical university, like physical building, physical hostels, everything there. That is also required. It depends on how how we can put it to practice, right? We have to start somewhere, but both are necessary. If you don't train the trainers and make them superstars, do we have superstars like Uttamo Swami today alive? Do we have superstars like KSV Swami today alive? Injime Dageshinger, a level of knowledgeable people today? We probably don't. How did we lose them? We have to always make sure that we maintain at highest level some training. So that you have to have parallel projects to take care of different streams. Otherwise, we miss out. Before the older great scholars go away from here, right? We need to extract a lot of information from them. That is a very big task, which we have missed out over 20, 30 years now. So you cannot give up some projects. We have to have a parallel approach.
Swami, just to be conscious of your time, we are almost at an hour. We'll take one last question, and we will definitely continue to meet, and then we will be posting the details as well. Any other questions? You are all more than welcome to reach out to Adiyan anytime, or Krishna Swami through our WhatsApp chat. If you really want to talk to us, if you have something, Adiyan will be more than happy to call you at your convenient time, and then take your suggestions or ideas to try to do it right. Our intention is to fulfill the anugraham of Srimad Harishinkar. And we have when Srikaryam Swami and others who are very, very busy, and they are also really willing to help us here, right? We would try to really contribute something, towards the wishes of Srimad Harishinkar. He let his Thiruvulam know almost like 9 years ago, and we haven't even started. So we just need to start definitely. That's our only wish.
Thank you, everybody. We are looking for volunteers. Please, some of you definitely, I think you should just come and work together with us. Be a part of the team, and let's take this further. Asmat Parama Guru Namaha, Shri Lakshmi Nrsimha Parabrahma Namaha, Sarvam Shri Krishna Pranamastu.
Thank you. Dhanyasmi.